Let's welcome in a good friend of mine who does an awesome job for the Action Network. His name's Darren Rovell. He's the sports business guru, and he joins us on the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. Before we get into what I really want to have you on about, do you have any outstanding like bets or things you do on social media that are kind of goofy and zany that we should look out for?
Well, I just reported that Ohio State has gone after Marc Jacobs, the designer, who was first to trademark the word "the," and Ohio State soon after tried to trademark the word "the," as in the Ohio State or the Ohio State University. And after they were refused because Marc Jacobs is now the first in line, they have now,
They've now what?
They have now filed a formal opposition this morning to Marc Jacobs, the designer, filing for the word "the."
Why did Marc Jacobs file the word "the"? And he owns the word "the"? Anytime you put "the" something?
No, he's trying to own the word "the." Apparently, there's a hat, and I don't know Marc Jacobs' association with Ohio State, but it appears like there's a hat that Ohio State put in the filing that is like a scarlet and gray, or it's like red on black, and it says the word "the." So maybe intimating that he's trying to take advantage of the Ohio State's "the."
Okay. I mean, this is stuff I had no idea that existed. Darren Rovell joining us on the Doug Gottlieb Show. I found it curious that it happened kind of quickly, and now I don't know about the money and what happens. That the Mamba brand did not re-up with Nike. Take me through what happened, what went wrong, and why is Kobe Bryant's legendary brand no longer with Nike?
As you know, I was very close with Kobe. I'm not so much close with Vanessa. Not that I'm not, but we don't have the same type of relationship. But I think that it's not over. That's just my opinion as an outsider. I have no insight into whether it's over or not in terms of I just think that there's no inside information, but I think they both need each other. I don't think it's going to be best in Kobe's legacy to come out with a shoe that has the, just that Mamba brand and the new M with the snakes around it. I assume that, Nike has been quietly, not like Under Armour, but quietly cutting costs on things. But when you think about substantive guys, the fact that Kobe's not alive anymore, he's certainly not less relevant. He might be more relevant. He's probably more relevant. So when you think about it's Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron, Jordan basically has a lifetime deal. LeBron has a lifetime deal. It would seem like you would think Nike would do a lifetime deal, forever for Kobe to live in perpetuity with the brand. But I assume that, obviously,
is it about money? I mean, I guess it's always about money, but
it's about money. It's about, I'm sure it's about money, and it's about treatment and where Kobe falls. And I know that at least some of the reporting, at least by Nick DiPaolo, was that Vanessa wasn't happy with the number of shoes, the fact that there were less kids' colorways or young girls or women's colorways. And I'll just say it's very hard. I don't know if I certainly wouldn't do a deal with a new brand now. I could see doing a deal with someone, where there's not another brand on it and it's just the Mamba brand. But every time that something like this has been done, it's not easy to go on your own.
No.
And so I don't know. So I'm a little bit squeamish on his brand and Kobe's brand, and whether this could really be pulled off on your own. The only guy who at a mass level went on his own and pulled it off was Shaq, which was a totally different thing. Selling a $35 shoe at Payless, selling 4 million pairs. That's a different thing. To sell a high-end shoe and create a high-end shoe, Doug, I'm just not sure it could be pulled off. And Nike probably thought that and didn't think she would leave.
Yeah, it's interesting. Darren Rovell, our guest on the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. Okay, so here's a very selfish question. The Kobe's are my favorite basketball shoe. I saw a stat where over 120 current NBA players wear some version of Kobe's shoes. What about the shoes that already exist? Is Nike allowed to continue to make Kobe Bryant 1 through 8, 9, 1 through 10s? And the Grinch Kobe's are like the GOAT Kobe shoes, right? They're these bright green Kobe Bryants that every guy wants to get. They're so ugly, they're cool. Like, can they keep selling those?
I believe they can. But what's interesting is, remember that one of the main reasons why Kobe changed from number 8 to 24 was because he didn't want Adidas to take advantage of the Crazy 8 shoes. And so that's one of the reasons. I think probably the main reason he went to 24. So it's interesting.
I love you, but the Colorado's is the reason, right? I mean, it was to kind of renew and refresh and change the brand. Wasn't that a bigger reason than the Crazy 8 shoe? The Crazy 8 shoe, by the way, was
not as someone who actually reported that he went from 8 to 24 that the actual day. I don't think that was it.
Okay.
They were making the Crazy 8s. He didn't want to. But anyway, I believe they can make it. But obviously, they're going to have to tone down their marketing. And how do you not say Kobe? And that's a big legal question. I mean, they can't continue to market in the same way. That's for sure.
It is. I mean, it's stunning, right? Just stunning that the Kobe Bryant's estate is not with Nike. And I
don't think it's over.
I know. I'm with you. And Darren, we at some point I'm shared the same agent, and his philosophy was like, there is no last and final. Right? There's no real such thing as last and final. There just isn't. I wanted to ask you also, Darren Rovell joining us, sports business guru, Action Network. Okay, then there's the Overtime Sports, okay, or Overtime. Overtime is a social media page, and of course they're trying to start this. It's basically high school basketball, but paying the kids with equity, paying the kids with actual money, and promoting them through social media. And what I don't get is this recent round of investments of money. Like, that one strikes me as, how are they? I don't know how they're going to make money. And make money at the rate that the people that invested would get some money back. You've been doing this a long time. Does their plan make sense?
Well, it seems like as a media company, they've raised a tremendous amount of money. As a media company, getting the views that they do, it's possible as a media company to do really, really well. I mean, you look at some of what the Bleacher Report has done and House of Highlights, and as kids are watching highlights more than games. As a media company, I understand it. I don't think it necessarily makes sense to say, let's have a league and we're going to take the highlights of that league and pump up some of these high school, elite high school players and use our platform to pump it up. And then we're also going to make money because we own the content and create the content. First of all, as we know, with high school players, LeVar Ball's league, whatever, it's not very clear that this is going to work. It's not very clear that there's going to be an amazing number of highlights that this plan will work for. So I would make this akin to Colgate toothpaste coming out with a gum. It seems like it makes sense, but then people think about toothpaste and brushing their teeth and chew and gum. Again, I'm just trying to come up with something where it's
but here's what people have to understand. Okay, I don't know how it gets on OT over the air TV, right? There's no all these high school events, and I know
But
because
they
I have
think
friends.
it's okay. They think it's okay. They think over-the-air TV is 2002 Carmelo Anthony against LeBron. I mean, they think that's 18, 20 years ago.
I understand, but that's also where you can that's also where you can get a base of money, right? TV rights deals. There has
I'm
not.
more concerned with what they think the quality is.
The
And
quality's
what
gonna be
they
terrible. The high school kids. Nobody wants to watch high school kids on. Like the people that spend the money. I could be wrong. I think I think
No,
their business works
I believe
as
you're
is.
right. I believe you're right.
Plus the amount of financial investment it takes to hire coaches and infrastructure. Then you're playing prep schools. Like I don't get it. And by the way,
often what happens is the best high school players, when they're playing okay players, have unbelievable highlights and are amazing. But if you truly bring the good high school players, the great high school players against the great high school players, like even at that time, it's actually not that great yet. So like it's not great enough. And I don't think it's going to be great enough.
well, no, people watch this. This is what people don't understand. It doesn't. The level of player doesn't necessarily, with the exception of LeBron, the level of player doesn't necessarily sell. Even the players in the G League are better than the players in college basketball. But people watch college basketball, maybe not as much as they used to, but they watch the NCAA tournament because of the brands, because of the pomp and because of the bracket, right?
Jerseys, laundry, the construct of it.
Correct. There's no. It doesn't matter. People don't watch. Historically, have not watched 16 to 18-year-olds. And then the idea of, they can still go to college. Like, no, they can't. Because you start paying a kid when he's 16 years old, he's not going to keep up with his schoolwork. And he's not going to be able to get into school with the help of a college basketball program. Like, all these things, it just, I looked at it and I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. I need something to make sense out of it.
I'm on the same page. If they were investing in the media company and showing me all the metrics that they have, which by the way, over time is pretty impressive if you look at their metrics.
Yes.
But as an investor, I think that it
How do you
gets
monetize
kind
that?
of muddying of the waters
Yeah.
when you now say, we're going to run this league, and doesn't it make sense that we're a highlight creator? So if we own the content, we can film the highlights, we own it, and it's just one big, great giant circle. I don't think it makes as much sense in air when you actually put it out there versus what's on paper.